Hello and thanks for joining me. Well, today we're going to put this plate on the back of a 4-inch 3-jaw chuck, and I'm going to mount it to my rotary table. Probably going to do it a little different than most people would do it. That's usually what I do. May not be the best way, but I think it'll work out good. Vevor sent me the chuck free, so we're going to do a little review on the chuck too. It's a fairly cheap chuck, and I suspect it'll be more than adequate for my rotary table, and a future use for it will be a weld positioner. So anyway, let's get started on that. Hey, let's see what we got here. Well, looks about like the last chuck I got. I'm pretty happy with the last one. Seems to be well packed. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind it'll probably be a good chuck. So it's got a set of 2 jaws, one for outside and inside, and the 3 mounting screws. So let me show you what we got here. Well, here's what I got. There's the plate we just cut out and threaded. It's a 1/2-13 thread. I'm just going to put that in my 3-jaw chuck, and we're going to turn the outside of that. And then after I get it to the rough size, I'm going to make a 3/4 inch diameter stud that screws into that, so that, and turn it the final diameter and put a ledge on it that this right here goes into to keep it centered. And that stud will be removable if I want to offset the chuck on the rotary table. And when I install the stud, it will index it to my rotary table, so I won't have to center it every time. And I'll make this plate and chuck fit on my weld positioning table later. Anyway, first thing to do is just get this roughly round. Now that surface speed on a 6-inch diameter, without doing the math, I know I need to slow it down. I'm guessing high speed in back gear. Look at that. Oh, shit. Did it again. I need to turn that 3/4 inch stud that I'm going to mount on the back, because that 3/4 inch stud will have a ledge on it. Okay, I need to take this down to 1/2 inch. Okay, let's cut some 1/2-13 threads. Perfect. I don't know if my collet chuck will hold that. Let's see if it does. A little bit of a heavy cut, I think. Working much better though. Okay, I got to go 76 thousandths further. It's not extremely critical, but that will be the same diameter as my rotary table. It's maybe 1/1000th over. That's close enough. Now I need to measure that. .834. Okay, I've got to go 1.5 inches in and turn this down probably at least 1/8 of an inch to make the outer edge 1/4 inch thick, maybe a little further, and that raised section in the middle will go inside the chuck. I got to go in, I've touched off on the outside here, and I need to go in 1.515. Okay, right there is 15 thousandths from finished size, supposedly. That's about right. I'll take it down to that, make about 5 more passes, and then finish the final diameter. But we're close. .869. Okay, I need to go 17 thousandths more. That seems like a lot. That's it. That's a perfect fit. Perfect and snowed. Okay, I'm going to do something a little different. Near as I can tell, I've got that tool set exactly in the center of that threaded rod there. And the bolt circle of this is 3.31. Half of 3.31 is 1.655. So I'm going to go 16 turns and 55 thousandths out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 55. and that is the diameter of the bolt circle. So now I'm going to hook up my tool post drill and indexing gear on the other side and drill these 3 holes. Okay, here's my gear indexer. It's got 48 teeth, and the red dots are 6 increments and the black ones are 4. So I need to throw my spindle out, take it out of back gear. That way it's freewheeling. I'll put it on 1 red, drill a hole, count 2 reds, the second red, drill a hole, and the third red, drill a hole. I've got a video on this. I'll put links in the description area if you want to watch it. Okay, here's my tool post drill. It's an old boring bar holder with a brass sleeve in it. I got another video on that if you want to watch it. I've got the indexer set on 1 red mark. I'm lining the tip of that drill bit up with the mark that we made. And now I'm going to drill a center hole there, just to mark the hole. I got a spotting drill in there. Make sure I'm on the red dot. Yep, on the red dot. On the second red dot. On the third red dot. I like it. Okay, the next step is to cut a taper on this. And it's going to be kind of hard to do because I can't grab it by that. I think what I'm going to do is turn it down to 11/16, which is the next collet size down from 3/4. And 11/16, the taper starts about the distance of my caliper down in that hole. So I'll be able to hang on to that much of it. I'll drill a center there, and that way I'll be able to cut that taper. Hold that in the collet just about that much. But that should work. Okay, I've got this center, dead center with a reduced area here that I can use to define my taper. Let's see if yep, spins true. I've done this before. I should have marked my angles right there as to what was, or wrote it down, put down my angle there, but I didn't. So here's what I got to do. Get a reading there. I'm getting further away. A little bit confusing. Getting close though. I'm going to say that's it. Need a little tool to stick out. I got some clearance problems there. Everything's kind of tight here, but I've got room to do it. Okay, that's probably not enough, but I don't need to go too far. So I'm going to take it out of the collet and try it in the rotary table. Still got to go a ways. Getting close. Several of my viewers have commented that I should cover my ways when I use emery cloth like that, and they're probably right. But I'll vacuum that before I move anything. I believe that's got it. Okay, now I'm going to do something kind of crazy. I'm going to turn down about that much of it parallel. And that will give me something to grab so that I can remove that center. And I'll explain more in a minute why I want to do that. Good deal. Okay, this taper is not really doing anything except defining the center. So I needed something to grab to be able to unscrew that. In fact, I thought about if I could figure out a way to mill it, to mill a hex on the end of that. I'm sure I could make a block and screw that into it and mill the end. But for now, just grabbing it with a pair of pliers and unscrewing it from the faceplate will be fine. I believe that's going to work out. Okay, the last step is to put these T-nuts in here, or holes for the T-nuts, right here. And I think I'm going to make it a little bit toward the chuck I don't want to make it too close because I want to be able to get to the head of the nut, maybe even put a washer under it. But the reason I want to do that is because I might want to take that taper off and offset my chuck. It won't allow me to move it more than about a half an inch, but that may be enough for whatever I'm doing. So I'm going to go in 1/2 inch from the edge, and I believe I'm going to do it on the lathe because I've still got the indexing gear on my lathe. Yeah, that's fairly true. Now I'll just use the black marks on my indexing gear. One, two, three, four. Black mark right there. Okay, I'm going to just take my tool post drill and position the tip of the drill on the edge of my plate. Reset my dial and go back in 5/8 of an inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 25. That's it. Well, there it is, all done. I couldn't be more pleased. Thanks to Vevor for supplying the chuck. Comes with mounting screws, no backing plate. This is without a backing plate. External setter jaws. I'm really pleased with it. It's good value. I think it's $60. They gave me a coupon code. I'll put it down in the description area if you want to buy some Vevor products. It may be just for the chuck. I can't really remember. But it's good value for the money. I'm sure it's not as good as a $500 chuck, but for $69 you can't beat it. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and be sure and subscribe and ring that bell.